Hello, today I show you how I make these soft and fluffy donuts by hand. No mixer needed for this recipe. If you've had challenges making donuts, they come out tough. This recipe helps you to achieve soft, fluffy donuts. You will need some yeast, bread flour, salt. You will also need some sugar, margarine or butter, room temperature egg, vanilla essence for flavor, and your lukewarm milk. You are going to add sugar and your yeast to the lukewarm milk. You'll give it a good mix and then cover it for about 5 to 10 minutes until it foams up. This helps us to check if the yeast is active or not. Usually, if you are using instant yeast, you can add it directly to your other ingredients and continue your mixing. But because I am using active yeast, I would like to proof it first. I would also advise that if you are not sure of your instant yeast, you can always proof it. And your water must be lukewarm and not hot, okay? It must not burn you when you insert your finger, or else it will kill the yeast. Our yeast mixture has foamed up nicely. If your yeast mixture does not foam up, it means that your yeast is inactive or your yeast is bad. You would have to replace it with fresh yeast. That's why it's very important to proof it anytime you want to use it. Unless, of course, you are double sure that your instant yeast is good. So now that we've achieved the foaming, we'll move on to the next step. I want to show you how to measure your flour in order to get accurate measurements all the time, measurements that are similar to that of using a scale. So you would use a smaller cup measure, then you use it to scoop and drizzle flour into your 1 cup measure. This helps you to ensure that you have a flour that is nice and airy. Your donuts will not end up becoming dense or heavy. Once the cup is filled, you want to use something with a flat end, like the back of a spoon or a knife, and level off the excess flour. Don't press it, just level it off just like you are seeing on the screen, and voila, you have your nicely measured flour. So if you are converting scale measurement to cups, you can use this method to get accurate measurements. So to your empty bowl, you are going to add your room temperature egg and vanilla extract, and then your yeast mixture. You're going to give this a good mix and make sure it's nice and well combined. Then after that, we'll add our sugar. Once you add in the sugar, you can go ahead and then sieve in your flour. Sieving flour is very, very important. I cannot underestimate it, because when you sieve flour, you make sure that your dough comes out nice and soft. You also help to avoid unwanted particles that may be in the flour, okay? Let's not forget to add our salt. Now, after adding the salt, you are going to go ahead and mix this very well until it comes together. Now, this method is the hand method because I know most people don't have stand mixers or bread makers, and I want to prove to you that you can make this totally by hand and then it comes out just as though you used a mixer. So when you are able to knead it for some time with your hand, go ahead and add the margarine so that you can get a nice smooth dough at the end of the day. The margarine helps the dough to become more elastic, and adding it little by little helps you to avoid a mess. You can also add it at once if you prefer. You can also go ahead and use your stand mixer if you have one, or your bread maker. Once your margarine is well combined into the dough, you are going to turn it to your work surface and then begin to knead it until a nice smooth dough is formed. I know this is a lot of arm work, but I promise you, you will get a smooth dough in no time. This takes about 20 minutes to 25 to get to this point. So to check if your dough is ready, poke it, and if it bounces back, you know you are good. And also you can stretch a portion of the dough, and if it doesn't tear easily, you know you have kneaded the dough well. If it tears easily, give it some more time, knead it, and then check it again. The next thing we are doing is proofing our dough. Roll it into a bowl, and then you are going to grease your bowl nicely with oil. You can use vegetable oil or olive oil for this, any oil of your choice. Drizzle some oil on the dough, brush it in order not to have it sticking to your cover when it doubles in size. So you are going to cover this with plastic wrap or any neat cloth or even a bowl cover. Then you will leave it in a warm place until it doubles in size. You can leave it in your microwave or your oven that has been preheated and turned off, okay? Once it doubles in size, you are going to take out the excess air and then turn it over to your work surface. When you turn it over to your work surface, you want to divide this into 10 equal parts. I do this by kneading the dough into a log first and then dividing the log into 2 equal parts. Then I will divide each part into 5 parts. If you have a weighing scale, this should be easy for you. This will help you to get equal measurements with your dough. Then, after you are done, you are going to roll each portion into a ball. This helps us to strengthen the gluten in the dough and make it more fluffy at the end of the day. You can put the balls under a cloth so that they don't dry out. Once you are done making the balls, then you go ahead and pick each ball, and with your rolling pin, you are going to roll this to your desired thickness. So I'm using a cover. You can use a donut cutter if you have one. Just press it onto the dough and then take off the excess dough. You should be able to get equal sizes by doing this, and this helps you to prevent waste. You can just repurpose the excess into more donuts later. Then for the middle part, you can use a bottle cover or something of that sort to take out the middle parts as well. So this is how the dough looks. You are going to place it on a grease tray or parchment paper tray to rise until it doubles in size. And I'm going to fry the middle parts as well. If you don't like the round middle parts, you can repurpose them into more donuts with the excess dough. Repeat this process until all your donuts are ready, and make sure that there are spaces in between them when you place them on your grease baking tray to make sure that they don't rise and stick to each other. So they start rising pretty quickly, but you can give them about 20 to 30 minutes so that they rise very well. And then at this point, you want to heat up some oil in a pan. The oil shouldn't be super hot and it shouldn't be too low. If it's too low, the donuts will soak oil and be soggy. If it's too high, it will burn before it cooks on the inside. Make sure that you're turning it around with your skewer gently so that it can fry evenly and have an even color. In no time, you will see your donuts have browned to your desire, and then they are ready to be taken out. Once they are nice and brown, you want to take them out and then place them on some parchment paper to drain the excess oil or into a sieve. Or if you like to have sugar on your donuts, you can put some sugar in a plate and then directly from the oil, you can just apply your sugar all over your donuts, and then you have your sugar donuts nice and ready. If you like recipes like this, you can join us by subscribing to our channel. We are also on the major social media platforms, so you can see our donuts come out soft and fluffy and absolutely delicious. I hope you'll be trying this, and I'll see you in my next video. Remember to enjoy cooking, and God loves you and has a great plan for your life. Bye!